everybody, welcome back to the Mini Minimalist. Today I wanted to talk about how to declutter sentimental items. I've been requested this topic so many times because it is a really difficult one. So I'm going to try and do my best to explain how I managed to throw away the majority of my sentimental items. So I hope you enjoy these tips. I've probably mentioned this in several other videos, and that is to start decluttering just general items, just miscellaneous clothes, makeup, books, that sort of thing. So stay away from the sentimental items until you've built that momentum of recognizing what needs to be decluttered and what should be kept, and that will really help you to declutter these sorts of items. And I do want to make sure that it's a really good idea if you don't listen to certain types of music whilst you're throwing things away. For example, if you're listening to really upbeat, happy music, you'll feel really motivated to throw everything away, but then after you sort of come down from that sort of rush, it's going to be really regretful when you realize that you threw all of those things away and they were really special to you. And also don't do the opposite thing of listening to really sad music, as you might not want to throw away anything. And of course, it's not always a good idea to keep everything. Make sure that you remind yourself that your memories aren't attached to an item. It's not that when you throw away this item you're going to forget the memory and you're going to forget all of those good times that are attached to that item. So it might be a good idea if you're someone that really likes writing or reading, to just make a description of the item or take a photo of the item and then write down the memory next to it, and that way you'll have a really nice photograph which you might want to put on the wall with a collection of other ones, or just be able to minimize a bit of space by keeping a photograph instead of having that whole physical item. And talking of photographs, I would definitely recommend scanning your photographs onto a computer or onto your phone, because that way you can throw away the physical item at ease, knowing that that photograph or the memories are still with you and you've still got that just on the cloud. So it's really important that you start by decluttering just random items which don't have much importance and are pretty easy to get rid of, and then move on to more difficult items such as clothes and books, going into a more sentimental territory where you've got favourite items and favourite books, those sorts of memories attached to those things, and then you can start to work on more harder sentimental things. And I do want to say it is totally fine if you don't want to throw away any of your sentimental items. Those are some really precious things, and you shouldn't have to feel pressured to get rid of them all just because you want to become a minimalist. And even though I don't have much stuff now, I still do have quite a few sentimental items. So you shouldn't feel bad about not getting rid of them because they are something really important. However, on the flip side of that, it's also unhealthy to keep lots of things. We do need to remind ourselves that we do have a brain and we can store memories in here. We don't have to store everything else around us just to remind us of things, but we can actually use that rule to our benefit. By putting our favourite things around us, we'll be able to feel happier rather than keeping ugly things, things which we don't want to see in our room, like mess or clutter. Seeing a mess can really clog up our mind as well. So it's really important that we keep things clean and tidy, and just somewhere where we can be comfortable to be really happy. Obviously you can see my room is a big white box. I really like the idea of things looking clean and tidy, and it's somewhere where I can just express my thoughts without being distracted by other things. But then of course other people want things to be reminded of, and that's really important too. So of course everyone has a different taste and it is completely up to them with what they want to do with their own personal space. If you have a look on Pinterest, you'll often see that there's often people have covered their walls in lots of photographs. And I think that that's a really good idea with sentimental items. So for example, if you've got like a cuddly toy, then you might want to take a photograph of it, print it out, and then put it on your wall with like a collage of other photos. And even though it's still technically a thing, it takes up a lot less space and you can still be reminded of it on the wall every day when you walk past it, rather than keeping it hidden away in a box underneath the bed. And I just think that that's a really nice way that you can incorporate all of your favourite things without having to keep a physical item. Because I guess the reason that we have these physical items to remind us of memories is just because we want to never forget that special moment that happened. So I think that taking a photo of that can still do it justice, rather than clogging up our space and becoming more of a burden rather than something that benefits us. It's also really important to remember that our things are here for us. We shouldn't have to keep things out of guilt because other people want us to. I know that there have been certain situations where often parents don't want their children getting rid of like sentimental items as they had when they were younger. But then in cases like that, it becomes more of the parent's item rather than the child's item if they don't want it anymore. But I do totally understand that when you grow older, it's really nice to see when you've seen like your old baby clothes and like toys that you used to play with. So I completely understand both people's perspectives. But it's nice if we can just cut down on the excess, and that can really benefit us. So I know that today's video was quite short, but so many people have requested this, so I thought I'd just add in a few helpful tips. If I haven't explained this properly enough, then I would definitely recommend checking out the Minimalist podcast. You can find it on Spotify and YouTube and all of those other places. And I believe that they've got a specific episode about sentimental items. They are the professionals, so I would definitely recommend checking that out too. Don't forget to like and subscribe this video if it was helpful. Let me know how you are doing with your minimalism journey. You can message me or comment down below. You can message me on Instagram at @theminimalist with underscores between the words, or you can comment below. I will see you all soon, and sayonara!